Hello, 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 everyone. I am back and welcome to the channel. I promised you that I would be going live, and here I am. I am live. So, over the next several weeks, the plan is to go live probably about three times a week. Oh, no, echoing. The plan is to go live 3 times per week. And I'm very happy that you are able to join us. So, hello and say hello if you're here. Um, Comment in the chat. Tell me where you are joining us from. But I'm not going to take too much of your time because as we are sitting here, um, as I am recording this, it is the day before Thanksgiving. So hopefully you are somewhere where you are kind of relaxing, the calm before the storm. You're not over a stove sweating it out, but if you are, this is a great live to listen to as well. So without further ado, hello, 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 everyone. Once again, welcome back to Countdown to Clocking Out. Now, if this is your first time joining, I am Cia Bryant, and this is the space where Gen X women come together to explore life after the 9 to 5 grind, but on our terms, okay? Now, let me ask you something, and I want you to be really honest about this, okay? When was the last time you truly paused and thought about you? Not your job, not your family obligations, but you, okay? Think about it. For a lot of us, our careers have defined who we are for years, maybe even decades. But now, with the new chapter ahead of you, it's time to reconnect with your passions, discover your purpose, and the goal is to design a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Okay. So now today I'm going to dive in a little bit on how to find your purpose after you leave the grind of the 9 to 5. Okay. We're going to talk about what purpose really means, why it's important to this next phase. And more importantly, I'm going to walk you through 3 simple steps to start uncovering your unique purpose. Right. So now, before we jump in, let's make this live as interactive as possible. Drop a quick hello in the chat and let me know. Okay, here's the question. If you could do anything in this chapter with no limits, money, time, nothing holding you back, what would it be? What would it be? Would you travel the world? Would you start a business? Would you finally take up that hobby you've always wanted to try? Now, listen, um, as the responses come in, I will share them if they come in live. Hello there. If you're here on with the replay, you can also answer. Let me know. Kind of listen. What would you do if you could do anything in the next chapter of your life? And when I say next chapter, I'm speaking of folks who are like me. I'm a Gen Xer. In probably the last 5 years or so of working my full-time job, my good government job that I was supposed to get after I graduated from college and again and graduated one more time from college. So I've been in my career for almost 30 years, but now it is time for me to do something different. That's why I wanted to have this place and this space for folks. So one thing I wanted to do as well is I wanted to put a copy. I'm going to drop it in the chat. There is an assessment that I've developed called "Are You Ready for the Next Chapter?" And I'm going to type it in now. Are you ready for the next chapter? It's an assessment, it's a quiz. You can, let's see. Yep, I think it should be good. It's a quiz, it's an assessment that you take a look at, and it helps you to kind of look at your readiness in several different areas. So that's fine. So now enough about that. Before we get started with the three things, know that this is a judgment-free zone. Okay. This is a place where you can dream. It's an open place to dream and reflect and take that first step towards the life that you've always imagined. Okay. Now grab a notebook, pour yourself some type of drink, a beverage of your choice, and let's figure out how to move from just surviving to thriving. Okay, let's talk about that. So let's start by talking about why purpose matters. Why purpose matters, right? So purpose is what moves us forward. It helps to keep you engaged, it helps to keep you motivated, and it keeps you happier when it's time for you to move through your life, or also sometimes your second career. Okay, so that's why you want to dig into your purpose. Now, how do you find your purpose? How do you find your purpose? There are three steps that I would like to offer, like 3 points, like I'm a Baptist preacher. 3 points, three key steps to finding your purpose. Okay. So, the first step is to reflect on your passions. Reflect on your passions. So, we're going to do this. Okay. I want you to take a moment and think about this prompt. What activity makes you lose track of time? What activity or activities make you lose track of time? Okay. So that's the thing that you're doing. You're having a great time, and you look up, oh my gosh, it has been an hour. It's been 2 hours. It's been 4 hours because you've lost track of time in a good way. I want you to reflect on that. If you want to drop it in the chat, feel free. But what activity makes you lose track of time? Okay, so that is reflecting on your passion. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to identify your strengths. Let's talk about identifying your strengths. Okay, now I want you to think about what you are naturally good at and talk about how it can align with your next chapter. How will it align with your next chapter? I'll give you an example. So, I have been an educator for many, 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 many years, right? And I love public speaking. Love it. When I do it, people are, oh my goodness, this is great. That is something that I consider a strength. So, what I'm doing is I'm using that strength, talking in front of people, and I'm helping it to position my next chapter. My next chapter, I'm including YouTube, I'm including coaching and consulting business. I'm doing that, and I'm setting that up right now based on what I would consider one of my strengths. Okay. So we had reflect on your passion, identify your strength. The last thing that I need you to do is I need you to envision the future. Envision the future. Now, I'm going to lead you through an exercise. You didn't know we were getting so woo woo, did you now? But what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and imagine waking up in your perfect day after you've retired or you've transitioned to the next phase in your life. What does it look like? Oh my goodness. What does it look like? What are you doing when you first get up in the morning? How are you starting your day? How is the middle of your day going? How does that day end? So if you want to, feel free to drop it in the chat. Tell me what your future looks like. What's your perfect day after you retire? What does it look like? Sometimes we don't take enough time to sit back and dream, to envision what's next. We're so busy with our day to day. We're so busy with thinking and doing and being. We don't have enough time to dream. So take some time to do that. Okay. So I told you I wasn't going to hold you long. Okay. Just to recap the three things. Okay. In order to find your purpose, reflect on your passions, identify your strengths, and envision the future. Now, there are a couple of things I want to say. Make sure that you join me for the next live. That I'm gonna tell you this is one that I will need to make sure that I am in attendance with myself, but it's called Money Matters. Are you financially ready to clock out? So we're counting down to clocking out, but are you ready? Now, you might be ready mentally, psychologically. You might have been ready 15 years ago, but is your pocketbook ready? Is your bank account ready for you to clock out for the last time? So that is the question on the next live. Okay. Oh, you haven't watched in a while. Hey, how are you? So I hope that this session was valuable to you. And I want you to keep the conversation going in the chat. Um, what does your perfect day look like? Okay. After you have retired from your real job. And also, if you're rewatching this, I want you to put that in there. And also think about what you want your next chapter to look like. Okay. I also have put in the chat a assessment. It's a quiz. It says, are you ready for the next chapter? Are you ready financially? Are you ready um, in other ways? Oh, no. Okay, that's fine. If you've let your notary expire, no problem. You can either pick it back up or not. That is the question. And that is the wonderful part about this. You can decide how you want to proceed. But all right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening. For those of you watching this in real time, I hope you have a great holiday. Happy Thanksgiving. And I hope to see you next time when we talk about whether or not you are financially ready for the next chapter. So until then, goodbye.